Previously on Kimba TV. It went that high. The second bounce, it went that high. The third bounce, it went that high. So my stop loss would be something like that now. Yeah, so that's it, Theo. All the bulls would need to do is just change the structure for me. I don't really give a shit about divs or hidden divs or CVD or open interest or S&P. Just change structure for me. Yeah, nothing has really changed, Aritodo. Still waiting to see if there's like some sort of sweep of 49.8. So nothing has changed, Aritodo, right? Lower highs, you know, we're gonna see if we can make a lower low.
4-Bit Algo says, we are in retail arena. Can we expect to continue along the weekend with 1%? Yeah, it's possible, but I mean, just remember like basic TA concepts, like the more times that you hit a support level, it gets weaker and weaker. Yeah, but I mean, it's been the same since Tuesday when I got back from Hawaii. I'll take a long at 49.8, you know, but I can't think about longing until that level. Even if I wasn't on right now, you guys should know exactly how and why I would be looking at certain levels. So, hope everybody is all right, but there's no surprises. Everything is planned out and prepared days in advance. So, you guys see it? Bravo Trading says, do you have any planned long? Yes, we've been planning for it since Tuesday. 49.8, like 49.6, 49.8 is the zone where I would first even think about longing. And it would be a swing failure pattern. So it'll tap 49.8 or 49.6 or 49.5. I don't really care how low we go. All I care is that we get back above 50,000. So if we do this and then we can't come back in to here, then I'm longing. Alrighty, but that's a Tuesday highlight. Did you know that even though we got pixel perfect entry right there, you know I talked about it, right? 52.5. So it's the same thing, ladies and gentlemen, the same thing that it's been for 2 years. There's not a single thing we don't talk about in advance. So yeah, the long is 49.8, 49.5, swing fail or a failed auction, and I would take it. All right, Bravo. So, Zigmo says, would the plan change of going for a home run, and would you consider closing the short at 49.8, 49.6 zone? Absolutely, Zigmo. And make sure you get caught up on the Tuesday and Wednesday highlights, because that's exactly what I talk about. It's level to level. Yeah, and I kind of, that's one of the reasons why I don't really like to talk about home runs so much, because all of a sudden, everything that we talk about and being level to level traders, you guys will throw that shit out the window just because I said I'm swinging for a home run. I swing for a home run every single trade. When I was in Hawaii and I had that 52.355 short, I was swinging for a home run then too. But the data came in and it looked like 50,800 was going to be support for a little bit. So I TP'd half at 50,800 and then I got stopped out in profit for the rest, right? So it's level to level. Obviously, I would love to swing it to 33K, but 49.8 is the level that we identified and have been waiting all this week. So I'm not going to just completely dismiss that level. Roger that. It could, I'm going to tell you again right now, Zigmo, it could swing fail the 49.8, 49.6, okay? And if it comes back above 50,800, then that's an easy long, in my opinion. If it bearish retests 50,800 and it spends a 4-hour candle below 50,800, then I'm still going to hold my short and we probably have room to go down further. That's it. Alrighty, Zigmo. But on Tuesday, Wednesday, we talk about 49.8, 49.6 quite extensively, so. Alrighty, let me know if you have any questions, brother. And it's the weekend too, so I'm not gonna be like super hyper aggressive about trying to take a 49.6 long, especially if it happens over the weekend. Alrighty.
Pudding Flan says, what do you think about the macro POC at 47? Is it valid to bounce? Sure. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of levels between here and 33. Like 47.2 I can see, 47 I can see. Some people are gonna try to long like 48, 48.2. You know, for me, it's 49.8 first. 49.8 is a level that I'm looking at. So if his swing fails, then I'll close the short and go long. I would probably not close the short and hedge long if it does it during the weekend. Yeah, it'll depend on things like, did the CME level get swept, etc. You know, but this is CME and it's pixel perfect, all the lines that we identified. Do you know where this line comes from, brother? You know where this sweep level comes from, and do you know why it's pixel perfect like that? It's the 4-hour candle. So, yeah, we got to be ready for a, like, swing. So 49.8 is where I'll be looking at. Kalanguisa says, when do you say a swing fail has failed? When it makes a higher high or a lower low? Alpeasy, what's going on, Alpeasy? MacBook Pro, Crippen Dream. Shout out Maxwell, shout out Diamine. Is there anybody that I haven't shouted out today? Happy Friday, motherfuckers. Alpeasy says, assuming you'd wait for it to tuck back above 50k, then put limits down to GP sweep level with stop loss under the swing fill pattern low. Yep, correct, Alpeasy. Do you remember when we talked about how I originally got into the short on Kraken? Do you remember when we talked about this? It would be just like that. I would go to the 5-minute LPZ. Why do you think my original short on Kraken was like 850? Golden Poquito. Failed auction. So, yep, that's exactly what I would do, Swap Easy. This was, I think, the sweep level or something like that. Goes. I wait for this. Swing high, swing low. From here, you could actually, the book actually says you should put limits in all the way that way. You obviously, you know, I'm going to try to be a little bit patient and disciplined and try to get here. But yeah, this is, I would do, it's the same thing that I would do every single time, and then, you know, higher high stop loss. So same thing for this side. This is the level, the Fibonacci Fibception level. And so however low it wants to go, 49.8 is the daily. So I think 49.8 gets tapped. But from here, it's like, you know, Fibception, deviations, true range, stuff like that. So I don't really care how low it goes, but it's got to get back above the 50,000. Parasta says the book says that, but how do you know it doesn't make a higher high? If it makes a higher high, then it's not a failed auction and it is not a swing fail. That's the invalidation. So swing failure pattern is what you want to type into Google or YouTube. Nerd out over the weekend a little bit. Those are just like the by the book invalidations. Alrighty, so if it does make a higher high, then there's other bearish structural edge that you could look for. For example, like a 3 drives. So Alrighty. Odeon says, guys, is he still in the short? Yes, but Odeon, you know what that tells me? That you didn't even watch the highlights. Alrighty. So not only do you not know basic things like am I still in the short, you don't know what my next trade is. You don't know where my TP is. So make sure you get caught up on all of that, Odeon. Okay? Because I was on until when we made this top. And I didn't get stopped out. You also know where my stop loss is, Odeon. So make sure you always try to get caught up on the highlights, brother. Because then you're going to be talking to me about, wait, why is he in a long? You know? And then it compounds. And then since you don't know why I took the long, you don't know where my TP is. And so you're going to be asking, guys, is he still in the long next week? And it's just a vicious cycle, brother. So try to get caught up on the YouTube highlights. Cakes 41. The way it is I'm looking to add at 7.5 at 51760. If it sweeps those bad highs. I like that. Like this. Right here. That's beautiful. I like that. Depivo says, what do you think about short right now? I think waiting for maybe like the 51.8, 51.7 would be a little bit better. Nothing's really changed. My stop loss hasn't changed for a very long time. 49.8, my level of interest, where I would think about TPing or possibly going long, hasn't changed for quite some time. I'm just trying to think. I mean, even if we went back up to the 53,100, you guys know that if I do get stopped out, that 53.3 to 53.5, if it fails auctions or swing fail, that's my next short. If the 49.8 doesn't hold, then the next level would be around like 48.8, 48.2. Single prints, volume nodes, and fib levels. So... But yeah, nothing's really changed too much. If it I'd be looking for like a 49.8 sweep, 49.6 sweep, and so getting back above like 50,600, 50,500 is pretty important. You guys had really cool ideas about potential short entries. You know, the naked point of control for the time, the TPO naked point of control is perfect on the golden pocket. And we do have historical patterns with the 7.5. So shout outs to the way it is, talking about the 7.5 and being prepared. I like that. So yeah, I think the levels are pretty good to go. Lebim Beam, you guys good? Still running. You know, one thing that I was joking around with yesterday. If this does get to a home run, imagine how much realized P&L I'm going to have just from the funding. I was just thinking, if I actually get this all the way to 32, imagine how much I will have realized just from the funding. But 49.8 could be, don't be mad at me if I'm in a long from 49.6, right? So, like I said, I won't be hyper aggressive over the weekend. We all know what the story usually ends up being if it does some weird sweep over the weekend just on derivatives, but CME didn't get to sweep. So, other than that, there is still like that hidden CVD bull div trying to squeeze its way out too, so that's something to keep an eye on EXO. I think that's it. S&P trying the 51. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting too. You heard me say what we were talking about earlier, brother. So it just gap filled. So do you see that pixel perfectness? You got VWAP, you got what the fuck? You got VWAP, you got fib, and you got 51 hundo. You know, we talked about 49.8, 49.6 pretty thoroughly, in my opinion, reality bites. So I'm not too enthusiastic about out longs yet, but like if it sweeps 49.6 or 49.8, don't be surprised if I show up tomorrow or on Monday with a long, right? So I think you guys are good. Just do your best, and it's Friday, so yeah, very high chance that I'm gonna be kicking it with you guys tomorrow. You know what the haters are thinking right now?
You can't keep getting away with it. You can't keep getting away with it.
49.8, 49.6 for a possible long, 51.7, 51.8 to possibly add to or re-enter a short if you guys want to. Levels are pretty simple. TPO, POC, right at golden pocket. So just do your best, Ike and Dobie. I'll probably be on tomorrow. So if you guys want to see the kitchen. Bulls, Bears, we're all Lions. All right? Sato, tell them what happens if they don't use stop loss. Tell them what happens if they don't use stop loss. Kachoi Shiba. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Peace, everybody.